everybody, welcome back to Card Curiosity, where we try to find the best possible ways to make a good return on your investment in the sports card world. And today we're going to do a rip it or skip it video where we break down a product and try to decide whether it is worthy of our investment dollars. Today we're going to look at 2024 Topps Inception Baseball, and this is a very late release product where I don't think it's going to be in our hands until like the middle of June 2025. It is the last product that's going to have rookie cards of Paul Skeens and all the Jacksons and the big rookie class that we had. So here's what a few of the cards might look like. You can see the Jackson Merrill here and Ellie De La Cruz. Nice patch autograph there. And so Inception's kind of known for cards like this. There's a Wyatt Langford Milestones autograph where it has a piece of the base, it looks like. So the cards can look pretty good and you can have a lot of fun with them. Before we jump into the details here, let's remind you of our framework for these rip it or skip it videos. We kind of look at 4 criteria to decide whether this is something we should buy. First is the price. We need to figure out if it is too expensive for what you get, or if it seems like a good value. We need to look at the checklist and make sure that there are players in here that people actually want. And I guess what are the chances that if you do spend money on it, you get somebody good versus a nobody that isn't going to be worth much. Next, we're going to look at the grading potential, because in order to make money flipping sports cards and ripping packs and boxes like this, you got to be able to grade in many cases, and so we need to see what the likelihood is of grading these cards and getting 10s from PSA. And then finally, we look at the relevance or desirability of the cards. Are these cards that over time people are going to want, or is it something that's just going to be a fad, maybe popular for a couple weeks or a couple months? That's a big one long term as well. So let's jump in. Here is what Topps website has for Inception. We will look at the price first, and it says sold out here, but on their website these were selling for $200 a box. That is up from, I believe, like $150-ish last year, and so price has gone up and everything sold out. So what you get is 7 cards. You get 1 autograph or an autograph relic card. You get 2 base card parallels, so some numbered cards in there, and then 4 just base cards. So 7 cards total. I wish that was closer to 10. I wish it had 3 numbered cards maybe instead of 2. That's one thing that I think we could do to make it better. And then here are some of the close-ups of certain pictures on how these cards might look. And so I really think they do look cool, and especially if you end up hitting one of these big patch autographs or relic autographs there. So that is what we have on the price. It was $200. Can you find them anywhere right now? Not really. It's sold out on blowout cards. I'm not sure what they were offering them for. Here on David Adams, they're not even showing up anymore, but last year's it was up to $280. So they went from $150 to $280 for 2023, which is kind of crazy to me. And so there's a good chance that these prices will be going up. On eBay right now, you can see $400 a box, $300 a box. I think we've seen some. So $270, that might be the cheapest on eBay. So the markup's not like crazy just yet, but these could very easily get to $350. I would imagine, just because of the chase for Paul Skeens and all those big rookies. So price-wise, at $200 to $300 per box, we're going to give this a 3. And I guess at $200, I'd give it a 3. If you're not getting it there and you're paying closer to $300, it's probably going to drop my score a little. But we'll say 3 here on the price, and move on to the checklist. So checklist, we need to look and see who's in here. We got to figure out if we can get the big rookies that are going to be worth money, and how often or frequently we might get the cards of players that we don't want. You can see what some of these look like. This Dominguez, his first career hit was a home run, and so they have pieces of like every base or something, I think, there. So they're doing some pretty cool things, and you can find some really awesome cards. The base checklist is 100 cards, and you'll get, you'll see mostly big names. with some others thrown in there that maybe I don't recognize a ton, and so you are hoping to get the big ones, of course. And so 100 names plus 25 short printed names, and these come every other box, it sounds like. And so you get, unfortunately, a lot of big players here on the short printed side, which means you may not find them quite as frequently, including a couple of big rookies in Jackson Merrill and Pete Crow Armstrong. But really what we're looking for on the checklist is the autographs. There's a lot of different kinds of autographs. They got rookies and stars. There's 83 there. And so I think those will be pretty standard, just autographs. Those are usually on card, I believe. Next you have charged particles, and a pretty good list of people here. Dawn of Greatness, and these look like older players, retired, and some pretty solid names too. Those would be pretty cool to get. Dual autographs are coming as well. Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson would be cool. Let's see, who else might we like? Corbin Carroll and Bobby Witt. That'd be a pretty awesome one to hit. Even Jared Jones, Paul Skeens, a good pitching duo there. So just some pretty good options as far as different types of autographs. Other things, the silver signings are pretty nice. Those are on card as well. So you have a gold and a gold inscription. If you get the gold ink, that's pretty cool, but pretty rare. Triple autographs, which is pretty. Some of these are pretty crazy. Bobby Witt, Ellie, and Acuna. You got the 3 Jacksons: Merrill, Churio, Holiday. You got the Orioles and Adley, Gunnar, and Holiday. And down here, this one's cool for the international crowd: Yamamoto, Imanaga, and Young-Hoo Lee. So they do a good job, I think, of giving you really, really cool upside potential on some of these. An autographed game sock relic. All right, that's interesting. And again, some big names here. Jumbo hat patch, which can be, looks like a button, the 5950 logo, laundry tag, MLB logo, New Era logo, team logo. Like, that'd be pretty cool to get a hat autograph of a decent player. So they have mostly good players on this list. And so jumbo patch, laundry tag booklet, autograph patches, that's just going to kind of be your standard RPA type stuff. Team logo patch book. All right, those, I've seen some of those. Those are pretty sick. It's like a booklet, and you have a big old logo usually on the right side, and then a picture of the player and an autograph on the left side. And so one of those would be incredible. Dual autograph relics. So that'll be interesting. Again, you got some, Jackson Churio, Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson, and game day gear autograph relic books. I'm not positive what those are going to be like, but I've heard maybe like batting gloves, something like that potentially could be here. So anyway, there's a long rundown of the checklist to say that like the potential is really, really cool, right? The one downside is that you could get what appears to be a pretty big card, and it's just not a big name. But in terms of like coolness factor and what you could potentially grab from here, I really like it. You're not going to find much else kind of like this with all the upside. So I'm going to give this a 4 on the checklist, simply because you can get some really cool stuff without like all these cool extra relic autos and dual auto potentials and booklets and stuff. I'd probably stay at a 3, but we'll go with the 4 out of 5 on the checklist. And next we're going to move into the grading. This one will be a little bit quicker, but Topps Inception, the base cards last year graded about 59%, got a 10. The autographs are quite a bit less at 30, 22. The silver signings ones are at 53. Patch autographs are 25. First milestones 9. And so like you got to be careful grading the patch autos and the relic autographs. We know that from other sets. They're a tougher grade for sure, but they are very, very cool. If you get a silver signing autograph, you might have a shot to get to Jim there. And some of the other autographs that are just a little more normal, we should say, not too crazy. So in general, I'm going to give the gradability a 3 out of 5. Just look over the cards carefully. You might have one or two from the set that you can grade, hopefully. And in general, I think I'd probably only grade like really, really nice cards of just a handful of players, because the price of these cards will probably drop fairly quickly. So 3 out of 5 on grading potential, and then let's jump into the desirability. The way we figure that out is just kind of look at what some of these things are going for. So if you look at a silver signing autograph out of 99 from Gunnar Henderson, recently sold here for $200. It doesn't seem like a ton. This is a rookie autograph, and it looks pretty nice. You know, you can argue that that's a sharp-looking card and signature, right? But for $200, that's not great. And so, like, just these kind of basic autographs, I don't know that people really want those. However, it is kind of rare to find ones like this. You know, Gunnar Henderson doesn't have a ton of RPAs like this, and so if you get a nice looking patch and of a big player, you know, it can be something that people might want. You know, this thing sold for $460, and it's it's gem mint. So like, still maybe not crazy expensive. Here's just kind of a basic patch that went for $220, and that's out of 75. Here's a three color patch, PSA 10 out of 125. And so, like, even though this is a really cool patch, it's still numbered to 125. If this was numbered to 25, I bet it could be $1,000 card potentially. So I think you really, in terms of desirability, you got to have the right player, and you got to have a really, really cool patch. If it's just a basic autograph, even of the best players, you're going to want to sell that pretty fast. These are the cards here. If we flip to Gunnar's, just Topps Chrome refractor autograph here, raw. This sold back in a month ago in April for $366, and it's numbered to $499. And so this is the rookie card that people want mostly. All right, and so if they're gonna buy another rookie card and pay up for it, it's got to be something pretty stinking cool. Like this one here. Like people pay. This is a 8.5 on the grade. It's numbered to 25, and it's a pretty nice looking patch. That one went for $900. Okay, so that's kind of what you're looking for. Only certain cards from Inception are going to be holding their value long term, and it's going to be the ones that are very unique and very, very different and cool. So that would be our recommendation there. So desirability wise, we're just going to give it a 2 out of 5. Again, find the right card, and people are going to want it. If it's not the right card, you need to sell it fast. All right, hope that makes sense. And just for kicks, I pulled up here on eBay some of the highest sales here recently of Inception cards, just so you can see what the potential is. And so, like, 2023 Inception Ohtani 1/1 Nike swoosh went for $10,000. Now, if that's a best offer accepted, it could be a little bit lower, but that's still a pretty awesome card. And so you have possibility of getting something like that. I mean, imagine if it's a Skeens rookie card or something. I guess Ohtani's maybe still top of the world when it comes to this kind of stuff. And so Ohtani would be a great one to get this year as well. Here's a really, really nice patch from 2018, and that's his rookie year. So this is a rookie card, patch auto, numbered to 10. That went for $9,000 on bids. Here's an RPA of Ohtani as well, 8,000 there. And there's a booklet redemption, Jarren Duran, $5,000 for a logo man out of 5. And that looks like it's from a hat, right? So this is going to be the back of his hat on the logo man. Pretty stinking cool card. Here's one of these Inception logo man booklet cards. This is Mike Trout, and that's an incredible card, 100%. So 5,000 for that one. Here's a dual relic. Looks like Trout and Ohtani 1/1 booklet. Like, that's crazy. Like, and so they have some really cool cards. And so this is going to be a lot of fun. If you choose to rip a couple boxes, you have a lot of potential. It's only 7 cards, so you can get burned for sure. Here's Aaron Judge in 2017. RPA went for $3,000. You'd think, a rookie patch auto of Aaron Judge here in May of 2025 would maybe be going for more than 3,000. So that's why, desirability wise, you look at all those things. I think we have to give this a 2 out of 5. And it's not that they're not cool and not desirable. They're very unique. It's just that it's not the ones that people really truly want of these players. This one, 3,000 for this rookie auto from Judge is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm kind of torn. Bobby Witt Jr. You'd think a logo patch auto out of 5, PSA 10 from Bobby Witt would be more than a $3,000 card. I would, at least. Compared to like a Topps Dynasty, those go for a lot more. However, this is still very, very cool. It's still, if you hit the right card, people are going to want it, just maybe not as much as some of the others. So add all our scores up: 3 for price, 4 for checklist, 3 for grading potential, and 2 for desirability. That gets us to a score of 12 out of 20. And so purely from an investment standpoint, I'm going to give this a pass, just because it is kind of like a lottery ticket of sorts. You might get lucky and get a monster, but you're probably more likely to, even if you pull a patch card, it could be of somebody that nobody wants. We've had experience with that in previous years opening this, and so if you want to spend a couple $100 and roll the dice, you can. But from an investment standpoint, I'd say pass. From a fun standpoint, I'm going to tell you to rip this all day. The potential, the upside, the fun that you can have. Our kids love this, and so we will be opening some for sure. And at a couple $100 a box, it's not like a terrible price. So that is where we are at. And we'll be waiting for this to come. We were able to order some from Topps. If you wanted to order some and didn't happen to get any, shoot us a message, and we may have some extra boxes laying around that we can pass off to people who maybe have missed out. So until next time, stay curious. Thanks.